Well, welcome back to another coffee and a chat. And this morning, I just want to take a couple minutes and share with you the scripture that I pulled out of my treasure box this morning. It's Psalm 38:9, and it says, "You know what I long for, Lord. You hear my every sigh." Now, when I read that scripture this morning, I don't think of when it says, "You know what I long for." I don't just think, well, things that I wish I had or things that I'm looking to get or um, I don't know. It kind of feels like a much broader spectrum that he knows what I long for. He knows the hurts. He knows the loss. He knows the fear. He knows the worry and concern. He knows all the things that I feel. And it really is going on a much wider spectrum when I read that it's not just that he knows what the things are that I want, but it's what I long for. Whatever longing is in my heart. Maybe it's trying to find my place of purpose. Maybe it's maybe what you are longing for today. Maybe it's to get through the heartbreak of a loss. Maybe it's to find a partner in life, a spouse that you can do life with so you're not alone. Maybe what you're longing for is um, children, or maybe it's a longing for the children you have, for health problems that they're having, or whatever the concerns are. Maybe you're just longing for peace in life because things feel so chaotic. Whatever it is that you long for or that I long for, here's the promise. He hears, he knows it, okay, but he hears our every sigh. Now that really speaks to me because for me, when I'm overwhelmed, when things are really hitting me at a very deep level, and it happens with probably with you too, because it's kind of built into it. There's just a kind of a sigh thing that'll come out of us, and sometimes it's almost like if things are really difficult, like I can even feel sobbing in my heart, even though I might not physically be sobbing. It's like I can feel it happening in my heart. So to me, this is a very comforting scripture because I know that this is going to be a year of change, and there will still be loss this year. The loss is not going to stop. But the changes that are coming this year, at least for me, but I think it's for everybody, those losses are going to look different than what those changes are going to look different than what we're accustomed to. Everything's going to begin to look different. How we do business, how we get through a day. It's all already, there's been so much change. Um, my one daughter that was here, you know, over the last several years, one of the things that has really changed for her is she works remotely now. She doesn't have to go into an office and all that. She works over her computer, and she does all her meetings, by means of video, and that they do however they do it. I don't know if it's Zoom or whatever, but they have a where they all come online and they have their meetings and all, and it looks very different than what it used to. Now the good side is that it does make it possible, so when like I said, we had a death in the family, and so we had some kids that needed to come out here to take care of some things dealing with that death. And so it gives them the flexibility to be able to do that because they can work from here, same as they can work from home. And so I don't know if it's been a hard thing for her to adapt to, but I don't know that there aren't more people that are going to be doing that. I don't know what all the changes are going to be. I mean, I have an idea on some, just common sense, but I do know there's a lot of changes coming this year, and there will still be loss. I know that even just through the stuff that Marvin and I've been going through, and I've found other people interestingly enough, that are going through the same kinds of things, and especially people that don't have a lot of resources. It's like all of a sudden many things are breaking down, important things in their home, or what they need to make a living, and it's just one thing after another after another. But I also know that the reason I know this is because they're sharing their testimonies of how God is providing for those needs. And and God has definitely been doing that for Marvin and I, and taking care of us, and even giving us the ability to help somebody else in need. And that's, yeah, it's amazing how God's economics work. They're much more effective. I come back to, you're trusting somebody who knows how to adequately and abundantly supply the need to feed that feed us ah, 5,000 people out of one little boy's lunch, and still pick up abundantly as much as they handed out left over to continue to feed them. So, he is the God of multiplication. He multiplies things. He's not limited like we are. And I would rather put my faith in him, not only, than anything else for my resource. Not only that, but he knows what's coming. Marvin and I were talking about a vehicle that we bought many years ago. Our house, there were 7 people living under the roof at the time, and we needed a vehicle that we could transport all 7 of us at one time, and we just didn't have it. And so we went out and we got a little bit in a hurry, and probably made a purchase at that time that wasn't the smartest. I questioned, did we really seek God, or were we moving because we had the money to do it? But did we ask God, is this the vehicle you want for us, or did we just buy the first thing that met our need? Because I think we bought the first thing that met our need, and it turned out to be a money pit. And 2 months after we made that purchase, it was just 4 of us living here, just my mom and dad and Marvin and I. The other 3 had moved elsewhere. So did we even really, did we really need that vehicle like we thought we did? Or was it just something we thought we needed? And we've gotten better at talking to God about things now than those years ago when we did that. But have we really asked him? And so, don't want to make those kinds of errors anymore. And the Lord's put some resources in our hands to meet our needs. And we know God is intentional about what he does for us, and we're trying to be intentional about asking him for help. So the thing that we can look back on that vehicle and see there is that not only does God have unlimited resources, but he knows what tomorrow holds. And he knows if the need I think I have today, if it's even going to be an issue tomorrow, because sometimes it's not. And we think we have a need that we actually don't even really have, because there's a change coming and it won't be necessary. So just really wanting to seek God on some things, but knowing that not only does he have unlimited resources, and he can do the impossible because he does it every day, he's God, but he knows what tomorrow holds and what we really need. And it's comforting to me to read this scripture that he already knows. He knows what I long for, but he also knows what I really need. And not only that, but when that becomes a bit much for me and that sigh comes out, he hears it. He knows. He loves me, and he's not abandoning me. You guys, he knows it. He loves you, and he's not abandoning you. He may not be moving as fast as you want him to move. He may not be causing everything to come together like you want him to. He may not even be supplying your need the way you want him to. But this I have I assure you, I promise you, is He knows best. He knows better than you know. He knows better than I know. I can look at something and go, oh, yeah, that's what I need. But see, He knows even better. I know that the biggest lesson to me in that has been that He brought me Marvin, because I could look at somebody and go, oh, yes, that's what I need. That would be a good spouse right there. I even did that. I kind of thought there was this one person that I thought maybe was going to be a good choice for a spouse. Oh, no, 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 they were not a good choice for a spouse. That would have been horrible, horrible. See, God knew things I didn't know. And so not only did He know those things that I didn't know and then show me so that I could go, okay, yeah, this is not a direction that I'm willing to go. And so I'm just going to turn around and walk away. Not that there was even a relationship like that, but there was a friendship, and and I was lonely, and I thought maybe this would be something else. This seems good. Maybe this will grow into something. No, would not have been good. And I'm so grateful to the Lord for opening my eyes and showing me things that were being hidden from me, so I could see right away that, yeah, I think it would be safe to say I was being scammed. But I walked away from it. I did not allow that to be ever become something, because God showed me. So even though I was lonely, and that's what brought me to the point that I was able to say, Lord, yeah, what I seem to attract, what I seem to find is not what I want. It is not good. Here's what I want. I want a man who isn't just the words out of his mouth sounding like he's godly, but really is a godly man. I want somebody who loves you more than anything, even more than me. But see, then I want to be second on that list. I want him to love me second. I don't want him to love something else or someone else more than me. You're the only one. And, and then there's these other things I want. I want him to be somebody who really legitimately prays with me, that I don't have to ask him to all the time, and that he doesn't tell me that it's just a little too much Jesus for his taste. Yeah, I had already heard some things I didn't want to hear from my spouse. And so, I was very specific with God because He told me to be. But but yet that wasn't what I was finding. And I began to realize, okay, because I'm looking. So you know what? I'm going to quit looking. And so unless you bring somebody to me, Lord, and you set them down in front of me and say, here, marry this one. This is what I want you to do. I'll just be single the rest of my life. I'll be alone. It'll just be you and me, Lord. Yeah, it'll be okay. I know. I'll survive somehow. Now I feel completely different. But at the time, my heart was pretty broken and wounded and damaged, and I thought I needed somebody. And in truth, I did. Because, see, God has healed a lot of the hurt and harm that was done to me through the man He brought me. I never knew before Marvin came along. I never knew what it was to be cherished. But I wanted to know what that felt like. I wanted to be cherished, but I never was. So Marvin cherishes me. I didn't even know fully what it was to be loved, not unconditionally. If I was loved, it was very conditional love. There were lots of rules that I had to follow, lots of hoops I had to jump through to be acceptable, to be wanted. And even then, I don't think I was really wanted or acceptable. It's hard to spend more than half your life being thrown away over and over and over again. Not that you're going through that many people, just even one person just reeling you in when they want you and throwing you away when they don't. The damage that was done to me, I didn't even realize. I still am learning how much that affected me, how much that damaged me. And it did take to heal me. God chose to do it through Marvin. Through, not that he's perfect, not that I'm perfect, because God's healed things in Marvin through me. But we both were surrendered to God by that point, to where we could appreciate the good things. It's why we don't fight. It's why we haven't had a fight or an argument. We don't agree about everything, but we're respectful of each other, and we speak kindly, and we don't say things to cause hurt, not on purpose. I mean, we probably have both hurt each other's feelings at one time or another, but it was never an on purpose thing, and it was very quickly recognized, and forgiveness was asked, and and lessons were learned, and we go on. But yes, we don't fight because we choose not to, because we'd already learned the pain of fighting and the damage that you do to each other's hearts. And we both, I remember, it was before we were married, it was before we were engaged, but we knew that was the direction we were going, and we made an agreement, while we were still friends becoming something more, as let's never fight. I believe we could do life without fighting. We were in our 50s. We should be old enough and mature enough to handle it now. And it's just not necessary. We've both felt like, oh my goodness, we've done enough fighting already in life. We don't want to continue that. And so that was a commitment we made, a commitment to that God had given us each a gift in each other. And we didn't want to do anything to hurt or harm that gift. And God told Marvin, don't you hurt her. And God told me, don't you hurt him. I'm making this opportunity. Basically told us both the same thing at separate times. But, I'm giving you this opportunity. And you can take it or you can walk away from it. You don't have to. You don't have to say yes. But I'm offering this to you as a gift. But if you say yes, don't you be hurting that other person. And I think that caused us to do a lot of thinking, what are the things that we do in life that hurts other people? Well, one is fighting and being cruel and trying to get our way. So yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do it. And even now, there's a potential of something sitting on the horizon to where Marvin and I might not agree on something. And, and it's like, okay, but I know there's a peaceful way to work through it, because God always gives us one. And I'm already thinking about my steps of peace. I'm already praying about, Lord, if this is something that, that presents itself and we have to work through it, of what the right choice is, help us to both seek you and not be trying to get our own way. I don't want to be trying to get my way. I don't want him trying to get his way, but let us work going your way. So so I'm surrendered to God, that there may be a choice made that isn't what I would do on my own, but maybe it's a choice that has a purpose and it needs to be made. Yeah, it's hard to explain without telling you the details, and I'm not telling you the details because it's not an issue. It may be an issue, but it's not an issue. And what was the thing I said the other day that's always true? Oh yes, 95% of everything that we worry about. Okay, I don't know why are you doing that? Of that 95% of things, of everything we worry about, never even become an issue. They never even exist. So yeah. So even though I'm prepared just in case, it may never even be an issue. So we let it go. I'm not going to worry about it. So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you today that whatever you're going through, whatever you may go through, God knows. And when it is so much that it even brings that sigh out of you, he hears it. He's listening. and He's moving on your behalf. He's moving on my behalf. And whatever the future holds for us, we can rest in peace knowing that God's got it. All right, I need to run. I've got some things to do. And before I believe I'm heading out to church today. I wasn't feeling the greatest. I ate something that did not agree with me yesterday. And so I wasn't too sure if it was going to be a good idea to go out today. But I seem to feel okay. Yeah, I think I'm good to go now. But it's what happens when you get older. I'm pretty sure it was a spice in something. Yeah, just your tummy gets a little more sensitive, and you got to watch what you put in there. And I threw caution to the wind and shouldn't have done that. So I had kind of a miserable night last night, but I feel pretty good today. So anyway, I love you guys so much, and I thank God for you and the opportunity that He's given me to be able to talk to you, and that you even welcome me into your home, into your life, and to be able to have these coffees and chats. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. I would love to have you subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because pretty much we're running a pretty good record here. I only missed one day in the last 4 or 5 months, but every day I try to have a video come up, because God's given me stuff to share with you guys, and I love doing it. So if you hit the notification bell, you'll know every time, whatever time, that those videos come up, so that you can see them. If a video really touches you and you like it and know somebody that it might touch them, please share the videos with them. Hit the like button if you liked it. If you like the videos, and leave me comments. It helps with the algorithms with YouTube, so that they will put my videos out there into people's feeds. And whenever they do that, I always pick up more people, more subscribers, and I have quite an interesting array of subscribers. I've got all across the age spectrum, and boys and girls and men and women, and I just am excited in the hopes that God is speaking into your life, because that's what I want. That's what I want more than anything. Time is short. Maybe just for me, but time is short. And whatever days that I have this opportunity, I don't want to waste any of them. So, because I care about what happens with you, and I want you to know God and be growing in the things of God and walking with Him every day of your life. Because whether you realize it or not, you're going to need Him even more tomorrow than you need Him today. And that's going to always be true. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You have an awesome day.